said, because all they want to hear is you respond. You had to have seen the video that GSP put out, right?
Yes, of course. The one where he actually looks like a superhero whilst wearing a Captain America top.
Yeah. Well, he looks good.
It's like, George, we get it. We get George, we get it. We know you had a tiny part in Captain America. Okay? Every fucking Instagram video you do, you don't have to wear a Captain America shirt. We get it. We saw the movie. You sucked. Yes, I did see it. Now, several things to note. Of course, looks like the fight is still on because I wasn't sure. I was... UFC hadn't reached out for a while. I didn't honestly know what was going on. So that's good. George is still on board with the fight, as am I, very much so. If I sit down with somebody and we shake hands and we have a press conference, we have a deal. The deal is that we're going to fight. He says he can't fight until after October, which, initially is kind of distressing, but the reality is that my knee isn't healing very well, and whilst I'm out here in England, I'm not getting rehab and all that type of stuff. So that actually is a blessing in disguise for me, because if the fight was going to be in July, we spoke about this before in here, if it was going to be July, I probably couldn't have done it. So I'm not sure why George wants to fight until later in the year, but for me, it actually helps out. Does it? Is it frustrating for the UFC? I can understand that. For the fans, yes. Does it piss Yoel Romero off loads? Yes, so that's good. And, obviously that's not my concern. So, yeah, for me, listen, October, November, whatever. Fuck it, I'm in. Let's go.
Yeah, he the exact quote, I guess, was, let me actually pull it up right here. He said something along the lines of, right here. All right, got it. Sorry. Mr. Bisping, I cleared my schedule to get ready for this training camp after the summer, so I can fight you anytime October. You pick the date. Let's get it on. He says you pick the date, Mike. What's the date?
What is the date? I mean, he says I can pick the date. I mean, hold on. First of all, let's talk about this. What did he say? He cleared his schedule for me. Did you just read it one more time, Lewis?
Mr. Bisping, I cleared my schedule to get ready for training camp after the summer, so I can fight you anytime after October. You pick the date. Let's get it done.
What they fucking do? Oh, I cleared my schedule for you, Michael. It's like, well, yeah. We had a press conference. We sat down. We're going to fight. You don't get credit for clearing your schedule.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. Yeah. You're supposed to train and get ready for a fight. If you want to train, if you want to clear your schedule, whatever. But you don't get credit for that. But that's great. That's great. So you're going to be ready in October, November? Fine. First date available. Let's do it. I've got no qualms as to when it is. What is it now? What month are we in? May. So I haven't got plans 6 months ahead of me. So anytime, and that would take over any little kind of appearance I had. If I had a fight with GSP, I think I would put that first. So George, listen, give me a date and let's go.
Yeah.
I say, because this is going to be a big fight and big for the Canadians, I say we do it at the Rogers Centre, 65,000 screaming Canadians. I go in, I beat GSP in his home turf. That's what I propose.
Yeah, I'm looking, so it's so far out right now that it's not even on the rumors calendar on MMA Junkie.
Yeah, well, no, it is. It's 6 months away, isn't it? So it is frustrating, but as I say, my knee's kind of been bothering me for a while. I had 2 knee surgeries, and it's still unfortunate. I went for a little run today, and geez Christ, the pain when I was running, every single step hurt. But you just put it out of your mind because it's only pain, which I guess really I shouldn't do because it's probably a bad thing. Pain is normally a sign of your body telling you not to do something because you're doing damage. But at the same, I like to run. I like to exercise, and I'm in London, and I thought I'd go for a nice run by St Paul's Cathedral and all this, taking some sights while I'm doing it. It's beautiful. It's a nice run. It was very enjoyable. I did 3 miles and wanted to chop my leg off when I got back because I was in so much pain. So,
let me ask you a question. So, GSP, like we've been talking about this fight for so long, and it's going to be, probably 9 months or whatever, 10 months between the time that you knew the fight was happening and when it actually goes down. And this is like the source of all of the shit that you've gotten over the past few months, because you really went from, you were one of the most hated guys in the UFC after The Ultimate Fighter, to slowly but surely you kind of worked your way into the hearts of the fans. You won the title, and then you were a fan favorite for, a hot minute. You were like, holy shit, everyone loves Michael Bisping. Now this thing happens, and you're getting a lot of heat on the internet. Is it the GSP fight that you want, or is it the big payday? Because the question that I really propose is, like, let's say the UFC came right now and says, you know what, we don't want to wait 6 months for you to fight GSP, right? We'll give you $6 million, which is what you would make, or whatever. I don't know what you make on the GSP fight, but let's just say that's the number, and we're going to put you against whoever. Would you take that payday and fight the quote-unquote number one contender and forego the GSP fight, or is that legacy fight more important to you?
Yeah, I mean, that's a really good question. But and I think it's a bit of everything. I mean, of course, first and foremost, everybody wants money. Everybody's striving to earn more money. Everyone wants more money in everything they do. That's why they get out of bed, they go to work. Do they want to go to work? No, but you're trying to work to, for your security, so you can take care of your family, so you can do nice things, and obviously fighting Georges St Pierre would do that. So that's very attractive to me. On top of that, there is the legacy thing as well. It is Georges St Pierre. On top of that, and I'm not going to lie, I think it's a very winnable fight. So I'm like, yeah, of course, I'm in. It's GSP. I'll beat him, and I'll earn, a ton of dough out of it. So I'm interested for all those reasons. If the UFC said Yoel Romero, I'll be like, well, listen, let's do the GSP fight, and then we'll do that. I mean, I've got no qualms. I'm sick of answering this question. I'm not asked about fighting Yoel Romero. But we've done a press conference. We've shook hands. We've talked shit. We've gone back and forth and this and that. That's the fight that's happening. So, I'm not even going to talk about that anymore, because everyone that listens to this podcast, we're on episode 10. All we've done is talk about this. So the Yoel Romero thing, everyone knows my thoughts on that. I don't want to repeat myself over and over again.
Okay. Well, what about, did you see what Mousasi was saying?
I saw something a few days ago. Refresh me and refresh the viewers, the listeners, pardon me.
Yeah, Mousasi, I guess he kind of went off on a little bit of, a rant against the middleweight division, basically everyone. He called Chris Weidman a loser, and then he did not have very many choice words for you. He said that you were the easiest fight in the division. And yeah, I mean, just not happy overall. But Mousasi is a guy that, we talked about this a couple weeks ago. I don't know if he was the dude that everyone was kind of clamoring for him to get the title shot anyway.
Listen, I saw something on MMA Junkie, and if anybody has the app, the MMA Junkie app, they will know my frustration, because it says it there, and it alluded to a video that you could press play on and watch and see this video. But, of course, on the phone, it never plays. So, MMA Junkie, if you're listening, sort your app out, because it's frustrating. And I wanted to know what the words he said about me was. I mean, the thing is, Mousasi, I've always had nice things to say about him, and these days he's kind of reinvented himself as some kind of shit talker and whatever, but come on, bud, slow your roll. You did get bullied and submitted by Jacare, and you did get knocked out against Uriah Hall. So, and it's not like he hasn't lost fights before that either. He's very good. I'm not trying to diminish his skill set, but he's also not Superman. He isn't a guy that's been undefeated his entire career and this and that. He's a very accomplished mixed martial artist, and he's been around a very long time. And as I say, I respect his skill set, but also at the same time, shut the fuck up, because you've been beaten soundly several times. That said, I understand he's trying to do his thing, and he's trying to get a title shot, and he's trying to stay busy, and he's trying to get the attention of the fans and the UFC. Mousasi was a guy that for a long time, well, he's like watching paint dry, isn't he? He was very, very boring and non-expressive and doesn't really say much. So I think he's taking the approach of no more than Mr. Nice Guy. I don't know where he's from, but whatever. I know Dutch, where he's from. I mean, I don't know where that impression was from. No more Mr. Nice Guy. Well, whatever. However Mousasi talks, he talks like he's got his balls in a vice.
I got to be honest with you, Mike. That was the first time that you didn't nail an impression.
Yeah.
Usually you're really good. Like, you got a good GSP, you got a good Romero. I thought your Nate Diaz was good. I think. Yeah. But you got to work on your Mousasi. Not good.
Well, listen, that's what I'm going to do. When I finish this, I will bring up many, many clips of him. I will nail it. I'll work on it, and I'll have it for you next week. But he's trying to make noise, and good for him. That's what you've got to do. But I think he's got more noise to make. He beat Chris Weidman. Very, very weird controversy. A lot of